Above and Beyond, the real estate show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Above and Beyond Real Estate Show. My name is Ralph Ciancio, broker of record here at RE/MAX Hallmark Ciancio Group, and I'm here with my good friend and new daddy. New daddy.
Dad number 2.
Mr. Colin Noble.
Hello.
So
It's good to be back.
Welcome
Yeah.
back. It's been
Welcome
a couple
back.
weeks since we've seen
It's been
you.
interesting 3 weeks. We had a Halloween baby.
Very nice.
She came out with a pumpkin on her head. It was kind of weird. But yeah, it's an adjustment for sure, but it's been a lot of fun.
That's
And
baby Emma?
baby
Am
Emma.
I not supposed to say the name? Should I say the name?
So it's totally fine. Emma. We have an Emma and an Olivia at home.
An
So
Olivia
and
and
Emma. Diana's doing great. She's a trooper.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
That's
You
awesome.
forget, like, Olivia's only 15 months old, and we were in the newborn stage, like, not that long ago, but you
Yeah.
forget what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, like, we're back, no sleep, crying babies, noises, like, all this stuff. But
Yeah, it's
fun.
exciting. It's all encompassing,
Yeah.
and then having the second baby, I'm sure Olivia still requires your attention during the
100%.
day.
Oh,
and
yeah. Like, she's walking around, like, nearly fully, like, just going nuts. So we got gates on the stairs and all that stuff. But it's fun. It's good. I can't
That's
complain.
amazing.
Yeah,
well, it's a
all good.
precious time. I know that
Yeah.
it's a unique and it's a finite period of time
Mhm.
with them at that stage.
Yeah.
And you got nothing but happiness in front
Yeah.
of you. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we got an exciting show today. I
For
think.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of different topics that we're talking about. And, one of the things I guess we're going to be talking about is, today is it's a big day here in the office. It's a
big day.
It's a big day
in the world.
The world is a big day for
and
Canada.
Specifically the soccer world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go Canada, go. Here
So we have
go.
World Cup starts. Canada's journey starts today, the day that we're filming this, and later today they're going to be playing against Belgium, which is really exciting. It's the first time they've been back in,
I saw
30
a
years.
stat today. It was like 13,361 days since
Yeah.
Canada was last in the World
Yeah.
Cup. So
pretty
26 years, I think.
Yeah,
26
26
years. So it's exciting. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but like all of a sudden when the World Cup comes, you become like a big soccer fan,
Yeah.
right? It's kind
Yeah.
of like when people sell real estate, they all of a sudden know everything about real estate. So it's kind
It's
of
the same thing
a
about
little bit of
soccer.
a bandwagon,
Everyone's
right?
like,
But
I watched the 2-minute tutorial on TSN on
Yeah.
who's going to win the World Cup, and now
Yeah.
I'm an expert.
yeah.
Same is true in real
Yeah.
estate, but
That's so funny.
yeah,
But let's jump into it. So, quick little market update. I think a lot of things have been happening I'd say the month of November, but specifically the last few weeks. We're seeing an increase in bidding wars, which goes hand in hand with maybe the lack of supply right now in the marketplace. And then interest rates on the horizon, another increase. I guess the forecast is 25 to 50. We'll see what happens, but
what do you think?
I think this one will be 25. To be honest, usually I shoot high, but I'm going
Yeah.
25 basis points beginning of December, and then I hope that they'll sort of maintain. They'll probably stay there for a little bit, but I mean, who really knows, you know? But
Well, I agree with you. I think we're probably looking at a 0.25% increase.
mhm.
It's just could be one of the smallest increases. In theory, they could raise it by 10 basis points. They don't
Yeah.
only go in quarter
Mhm,
increments.
mhm.
But the consensus, on the street is probably 25 basis points. They could surprise us with 50.
Mhm.
But overall, if you listen to our conversations, say back in March, April, May, as we knew interest rates were rising,
Mhm.
people were thinking, "Oh, what are we going to see?"
Yeah.
Total mystery,
Yeah.
no sense of what's high and what's low. And then they came out with 75 basis point increase on interest rates,
Mhm.
and then 1% increase in
Mhm.
interest. Those are
Mhm.
big jumps.
Huge.
So I think the 0.25% shows that they're tapering off on
Yeah.
what they're growing.
Yeah, which is why maybe we're seeing. It could be seasonal as well. I mean, a lot of buyers are trying to get in before the holiday season, trying to get that home purchase done, but also the comfort of knowing sort of maybe we're peaked with interest rates. So maybe there's a bit more comfort in terms of knowing affordability, knowing what the rates are going to do. But again, they could surprise us with another big hike. But I think inflation has kind of slowed a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Some of the things that we talked about last week, we had a meeting with chief economist from CIBC Bank, Benjamin Tall, and he had a couple of really insightful perspectives on where interest rates are at and where we are heading. And, one of the main things is that the way they know if interest rates are effective, if raising interest rates are effective, it's a lagging process.
Oh,
So
for sure.
whatever
For sure.
decisions they made in May, we're starting to see the impact now.
Right.
So it's really, really hard. It's like, imagine if you're driving your car and you push the brake, but you don't slow down for half a kilometer. It's really difficult to drive effectively, right? You don't want to over brake, and you don't want to not brake enough, right? So it's kind of like driving a big train. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
On the weekend, we watched the movie Speed with my kids.
Oh, yeah?
The movie Speed, you know,
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
And man, your heart's racing the entire time.
Yeah.
And I think they made one where he's on a train. The first one, he's on a bus. But after that...
Yeah, there's a few speed movies, aren't there?
There's like a
3
boat
or 4 or something.
I think there's a train.
Yeah.
But that's how the Canadian economy is. It's basically like a train with no brakes, and, you know, it's really, really hard to navigate safely. But...
So it's I think the market is certainly active. As we've seen. Today we're going to talk about what we call highs and lows.
You got it. New segment.
Highs and lows. I mean, we do it weekly as a team. We discuss our personal highs and lows, but today we're going to try highs and lows for detached homes in Markham.
Detached homes
in the month of November. So we're going to look at the highest sale and we're going to look at the lowest sale. And just to provide some context, just to provide some information for some people, and I thought it would be a little bit of fun. So
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. So I think we could probably also turn this into some
like a
contest or
like
something,
a game,
maybe, or like a game.
Like the Price is Right. It's like
next
Price
December,
is right.
What's the highest? What's the lowest? You never know. We could do that.
And you know what's funny? Actually, the mindset of the Price is Right. When we look at the every transaction, but we look at the least expensive transaction for a detached home in Stouffville, you say the price is right, but really who's it right for?
Totally.
If it was right for the buyer, then you get a deal done if the seller's willing to accept, right? And that's the funny thing about prices as it floats around, is that the price has to be right for the buyer and the seller or nothing happens, right?
Yeah, matchmaking prices, I don't know. Does that matchmaking game? And Price is Right, and
the newlywed game.
Newlywed game, yeah. But anyway, start high, start low.
Start low.
Start low.
Start at the bottom.
Okay, so we are looking at a house in Markham in Greensboro. Actually, it's sold beginning of the month, November the 1st.
So am I supposed to guess the sold?
I think
price?
I think you know. So is it fair?
Well,
we should do the segment next time where you have a property, I have a property, and then we don't know. We have to guess.
Okay.
Anyway, we're at 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
The lowest price in Markham in the month of November for a detached home, 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yeah.
So we call that the basement or the... now, again, that's detached. It's really, really important to note. We use that just because it's probably the most common product out there. You can look at semis, you can look at towns, but some semis or towns have a condo element, so it's a little bit awkward, right?
For sure, yeah. So 3-bed, 3-bath home, $1.2 million.
How about the most expensive?
Show
me the money.
Show me the money. This is an interesting property. It's like a big estate home. $6.15 million. 6150.
So just over 6
000.
Yeah.
Just over $6 million. Yeah. Interesting though. It took 50 days to sell.
Yep.
Which luxury homes, actually that's probably pretty quick for a home of that size and price. But again, this sold second week of November. Big home, obviously. 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 3 kitchens. So probably some of those are
common.
Bars, some of those are...
No, it's pretty common in luxury homes to have 2 kitchens on the main floor.
Yeah.
When we're talking about a certain level of luxury homes. And the idea is that one is for cooking, one is for actual practical use. The other one is just a show kitchen.
Right, like entertaining area type thing.
Yeah, just like you warm up the food, but you're never going to really cook in it.
Right.
And the funny thing is, because we do have some experience in luxury real estate.
For sure.
What I found is that in these homes with 2 kitchens, it's unlikely that the owners cook in any kitchens.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll either have somebody cooking or they just order in food.
Yeah.
But for the people that are entertainers, it's great to have a big kitchen that you can entertain in, but you have something simmering in the back or splattering and making a mess in a room just behind the regular kitchen.
Right. So interesting stuff. Big estate home. This one was in Bayview Glen, so at Bayview and Steeles area. Yeah. So stay tuned for December.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Mystery. But what's interesting is that you bring up where it's located, and a luxury home means something totally different in every area. Not only the value, like truth be told, we're looking at within Markham. That's the other parameter. If we would have opened this up to different municipalities, you would have seen a total huge step up in price.
For sure.
Or step down in price. I'm sure the most expensive home in Ajax is worth less than this. But I'm sure if we go with a mid-range home in North Toronto, you're probably in around the same price point, right? So
we could jump around too. We could jump around too. Like we could do Richmond Hill, we could do Newmarket, we could do Toronto, like in further high and low segments. So.
But actually, one thing, you're talking about jumping around. We were talking originally about World Cup and impact of how everyone gets on board. And one thing, I kind of had a moment of inspiration as I'm looking forward to next World Cup. I'm loving this World Cup. I love soccer. I've played soccer my whole life. My two boys are totally engaged in it. We literally went around and met some of the
signatures,
the national team
autographs.
players. Yeah, like we're waiting in line. Like I'm waiting to meet Justin Bieber. Like it's just like a total fanboy meeting these guys that most people wouldn't even know.
Totally.
It's just a Canadian national team soccer player. They're not making the same money as a European,
for sure,
soccer club. But in any case, so in this current World Cup, there's actually 32 teams that are eligible to make it to the finals. What we're watching right now on TV is the World Cup finals. It's the tournament.
Correct.
Right. It's not the final game, but the tournament's called the finals. But what's different in the next World Cup, which is coming out in 4 years, so that's 2026, we are going to be hosting it here in Canada, U.S., and Mexico. But there's actually going to be 48 teams.
Amazing.
So the tournament's going to run a little longer. There's going to be more games. There are 4 groups of 4 teams added.
Right. 50% increase. So that's
huge increase.
Yeah, which means a lot of more players, a lot more whatever. I mean, this is going to make
more games,
setting up pools more complicated.
Yeah, definitely. But also more profitable, right? Like
100%.
If half of the world is watching this and they're watching extra 10 games, that's a lot more advertising money for them, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm sure North America they'll be serving beer, but
we hope so.
Anyway,
we hope so.
We'll
It's going to be some big trouble. But you know what? When I saw that stat of how they're changing the tournament, and I started thinking about how will this impact the tournament? And we've already seen, I mean, it's only a couple days into the World Cup, but we've seen some underdogs take on Goliaths.
Japan beat Germany this morning,
You
right?
saw it. Yeah. Japan beat Germany, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a lot more volatile is what I'm saying.
Right.
When you have the same teams year after year after year, it stays pretty consistent. You know more or less what's going to happen. It's more predictable. But in soccer, it's very unpredictable. Any team can win any game, really.
Right.
The more powerful teams will win the important games, but anybody can win or lose a game.
Right.
And I was reflecting on that, and I thought about our real estate industry, and something a lot of people don't realize is that at the start of this year, there were more people studying to get their real estate license in Toronto than there are agents in Toronto.
Crazy.
So they're looking at
that's crazy. We're going to double the amount of realtors, right?
You got it. And we've already seen it. I think we'll hit 100,000 realtors by the end of this year on the Toronto Real Estate Board. I might be a little bit too ambitious on that. It might be a little bit less.
Right.
But that was what was predicted earlier in the year when the market was hot.
Right.
Now with a change in tides.
Totally. People are like, wow, this isn't so easy.
I'm
right?
outie. Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But, it made me think, how will that impact? And I wanted to ask you this question is, how do you think that could impact the real estate market if we have a 50% increase in the number of real estate agents?
It's certainly going to... I don't know if I want to be optimistic or pessimistic about this. I mean, there's two sides of it, right? I think... I'm hoping that it may bring a different aspect or different vision of like the new agents may have different skills that existing or the
old school
the old school agents don't have, but it also might mean that it brings the level of professionalism or expertise down a notch as well. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it when you work with a new agent either on the other side or with you. Their expertise isn't as polished as someone who's been here for a while. I think it's also going to be very challenging for those new agents to find business. Well, I mean, arguably, right?
For sure. I mean, the most common, and I've been in this business 15 years, and I've seen people come and I've seen people go, and the most common deals take place when someone first gets their license. And they
family and friends.
They do something for themselves, and then they buy for their family or buy something for their coworker because they may still have a full-time job, and those are we call them the obligatory transactions, the ones
Right.
where people have to hire you.
Right.
And, the danger that I see in this market, I think it's great. And I've never been one to push down newcomers into the business because I was a newcomer at one point as well. I think everyone deserves a chance if they want it.
To be fair, the barrier of entry has increased. It used to be quite. I'm not saying that it was easy.
Oh, it was at one point.
It was like you write an exam and like you got your license.
In the 80s, you literally just signed a form and that you were an agent. That
so
was it.
now the Humber process is a bit more stringent and difficult. So that may also weed some people out.
Yeah.
And those who are really committed to doing it are the ones who are going to pursue it.
Yeah.
But then they might realize as soon as they're in it for a year or two that
what I worry about, and I mean, in our mindset, we don't think about what does this mean for us specifically as a team or as an agent. We think about the industry as a whole. We're protectors of the industry, right? Like, most of what I do every day is to ensure that the industry exists 20 years from now, because there's always a threat that you can get picked up by technology real fast. But what concerns me is the volatility that this will bring into the real estate market, and it's not even going to be noticed, right? But if someone is an experienced agent doing this for their 300th time, they have some comfort and can give guidance with confidence. Whereas when someone's doing it for their very first time, there's number one, huge liability factor. And then number two is that, are we going to start seeing homes sell for really, really high and really, really low? Like, are we going to see just a lot more volatility as opposed to understanding with a baseline, because you're dealing with all professionals? The exact analogy would be when we looked at in the last 2 years, we call it retail investors. So for years and years and years, most investments, buying stocks or bonds, took place by professionals. They know what they're doing. They have a system. And then the retail investor got involved, and it just jumbled everything up. And we saw, Robinhood
AMC,
stocks,
GameStop, all that stuff, right?
Just rocket up. And then a lot
for
of
no
people,
apparent reason.
and people lost their shorts on it. So that's what I'm really concerned about, is that, are we going to start seeing a ton of volatility that really is more towards the guidance that people are getting, not to do with the supply or the demand?
Maybe. And I think that goes right back to the World Cup of 16 more teams. We're going to see players that we've never seen before. Maybe that's going to mean that Uganda wins the World Cup. Like you never know, right? Which could,
so I can finally wear my Uganda soccer jersey.
Well, I mean, it might mean Italy makes it next time. So
that's okay. I've got one. So.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. It's an exciting month always when the World Cup is here. I think it brings together, the World or soccer, football, whoever you want to say it, is probably the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, certainly.
Most watched, most played, most whatever. So I think it's similar to the Olympics, but I think it's actually a stronger following in the Olympics because it's one sport. It's a sport that's so big that it brings, I'm hoping, brings nations together, brings the world together to celebrate a great sport. And it's just fun to watch. The World Cup is a different feeling when you're watching the game. It's just it's super exciting. So lots happening in November. Also Movember.
So can people sponsor you? Can they?
This year I decided not to raise money. I typically raise money. This month is completely awareness. This year, so I know
Colin's here.
Inflation. I'll save it for your milk. Save it for your groceries.
That's right.
Just awareness. Awareness this year. So
very nice.
I have a few days left. Diana will be happy once December 1st hits. But
I'm sure Olivia's going to say, "Who are you?"
yeah.
She's probably saying that now, right?
Yeah. But also in November, it's holiday season.
That's
right. This weekend is RCH. We are in a Santa Claus parade.
Where there's a Santa Claus parade season. Tis the season. So this Saturday, which coming up, is going to be November 26th. We're going to be at Main Street, Markham, for the Markham Santa Claus parade, and that's going to take place starting at 11 a.m. Just along Main Street, Markham, which is also called Highway 48 or Markham Road. That's from Highway 7 all the way up to Bullock. And then the following week we have two. We have Main Street Unionville has their old time Christmas event, and that starts at noon and runs until 7 p.m. with a parade just in the last 1 hour. And then Stouffville Main Street has their Santa Claus parade, which starts on Saturday, December December 3rd.
3rd, yep.
And that's going to be at
6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
Yep.
6 p.m. So a lot of main streets, a lot of Santa Claus parades, and we're going to be in all three. We'd love to see you if you guys are interested in coming out to see what Santa Claus parade looks like in 2022. It's been a couple of years.
Yep.
And sadly, it's a tradition that we love. We love bringing people together. That's, one of the things that drives us as community and bringing people together.
Yep.
So it'll be great to see you out there. So.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't rain, but we'll be there, rain or snow or hail or sleet or
Santa's like
sunshine.
the mailman. It's a rain or snow.
Yeah. He's got to deliver presents.
Packages get delivered.
The weather can't stop Santa, so
that's great.
It's not going to stop us. So we'd love to see everyone there.
Yeah, perfect. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today. We appreciate the love. We hope that you can like, subscribe, and comment, just so we can keep this show going. And we hope that this week ahead is better than you can imagine. Yeah. And we hope you have a great one.
Awesome. Go Canada, go.
Go Canada, go. You'll be seeing me running up on Main Street wearing only a Team Canada jersey.
Let's go. Thanks, guys.
Ciao. If you like what you saw, check out these other videos on our channel. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment, whatever this thing is prompting you to do. If there's some buttons around my head, just click on them. It'll be worth it.